Well, like we mentioned earlier, 0-9 versus Chicken is a matchup they want to look out for because of the fact they can be so powerful on those supports.
And whoever wins that support matchup may enable their side lane ADC to do best. And they're doing what you asked for. It was Telenas, it was Elsu, those side lane characters, and now the Wisp that are removed by Existence.
When we were talking before this match, the first thing that you told me, D2, was they have to take the Wisp away. It's banned away at the Final Four. Existence, how does this now change the Sleepy Team roster?
It changes everything.
Ooh. Oh,
they're scaring us right now.
I was excited.
They're confused. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They can't pick Wisp or Telenas, but they do get the Florentino.
Yes, they can't pick Wisp or Telenas, but powerful characters have made it through. Florentino comes out. Sephora still on the cards. Will be drafted second alongside a Richter. I do have to say, I think Existence are winning this draft.
Oh my goodness. This is what happens when you ban out both the Tel and the Wisp. This leaves so many heroes available. We have 3 almost perma-banned heroes in this game, TJ.
The difficulty that you have when priority picks get taken away, it opens up the doors, and you want to have someone that's opening, well, he's going to be knocking them down. It's going to be a Yorn that gets picked in with the Liliana for Sleepy Team.
Yorn is not normally seen because it's a little bit more of the static side lane mage. It's very easy to pick off. We have seen one successful Yorn actually played against Sleepy Team by Clash. They did it with a Pura to back him up, provide the healing. There needs to be a similarly strong support character coming through for 0-9 here.
Violet and Baldom are immediately locked in by Existence. They did not want to wait, as now backline threat as well as Teamfight CC is on the board.
I do want to say, though, going back to the Yorn, I love this here from the side of Sleepy Team because in the past, they respawned with a Valheim that doesn't provide the damage they need, so this will help them carry their team.
Sure, they have the damage, but do they have the protection? The support character they choose for 0-9 is a Crashed, and I do not like that. Not into a Baldom, not into a Malik, both characters that can brawl one-to-one against the Crash, particularly the Malik we oftentimes talk about as the hard counter because he can cut through that shielding.
Crash has been played in these compositions where you have a second form of protection for your backline. He's great at splitting and playing in the middle, but the difficulty now that they have a Malik put in, there is a lot of positional prowess that needs to be placed by Sleepy Team if they want to win the 5v5s.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. The Crash is really good when he's the initiation for a second wave.
Yes.
I don't see what that second wave is. Maybe it's the Florentino, but Florentino doesn't play defense.
The funny thing about the Crest here is that the Crest can protect Yorn well enough. The problem is the Metamorphosis is almost a downside in a way, because once you pop the Metamorphosis, you don't have the knockback, you don't have the shielding. All of a sudden, you're just trying to get in there and damage people, and it's not the same.
And it pushes people far away from the Yorn. So if the Yorn's trying to take a sustained fight, the Crashed ultimate comes, and now he doesn't have any targets anymore.
Add a second level of difficulty to this as well. Existence, because they have multiple forms of initiation with both the Baldom and the Malik, if they're capable of baiting out the Crashed, baiting out his ultimate, nothing is available for the 5v5 or Sleepy Team and puts them in a very rough situation.
And I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Wild Prison, because if you're Metamorphosis Crashed, yes. If you're a Metamorphosis, that's his rap name. That's Baldom. Anyway, if you're a Metamorphosis Crashed and you're tanky as all heck and you get eaten by the Wild Prison, you're now spending your time Metamorphosis in prison, not helping your team.
That's a fish out of water you do not want to see in a great situation. However, they do have a little bit of side pushing pressure. They do have the Omen on their side. Is that an opportunity? With the lack of 5v5 team fight and the crowd control to boot, will this then shift the Sleepy Team strategy to that split push? Because we have seen teams with the Omen Yorn combination able to do that successfully if pressure is created on the specific parts of the map.
I do not see this Yorn surviving in team fights. I'm still just hung up on that.
Well, that's what the split push is for. Get him away.
Who can actually dive the Yorn is what I'm thinking about right now.
Who, where, and why? That's the question that needs to be answered as our second match of the European region has begun. Game number 1, Sleepy Team versus Existence.
Follow-up question to you off of Jumps. Well, I guess we're getting an answer. Royd's already showing up for the dive, but also, do you have to? Because Blue Triton running that Violet outranges the Yorn and can do damage, burn him down, especially late game in the team fights before he can get enraged and do damage himself.
Right, he very much can. He very much has that damage like you mentioned, but if they get into a poke war, then I think Yorn wins that.
Sleepy already in a little bit of trouble in these poke games, though. 0-9 chased very low by the Bamboo Chicken duo.
Look for Z to not give any cares in the world in the bottom lane there and just continue to farm up. He will not care about Koresh. He says, I need my farm.
Yeah, Z is the farm monster right now, and if Z can get ahead, then their team is suddenly looking very good. They do have a pretty alright lane matchup into the Crest. Crest considered one of the strongest melee characters against other melees. Against the Yorn, as long as the Yorn can keep his distance, it'll be fine.
One thing I'm looking for Existence here, though, is they continue to move around their heroes. I wonder what Blue Tri's going to do on a jungle marksman.
Chicketon, scooping away 0-9. Rest of Bamboo push forward. Blue Triton has played jungle before, did so for a while during season number 2. I don't think it's impossible he steps up because this is pretty similar to the Season 2 jungle meta, so I think he could feel very comfortable.
Yeah, and it's going to be imperative on him to do a good job, though. The other jungle is actually the Florentino. He hardly see Florentino, but he's usually in the Darkslayer lane, but 90's picked him up here in the jungle. Not as good engage potential, but once he gets in there, he will wreck the entire team.
Bamboo in trouble. There's the Florentino to do damage, and he obliterates Bamboo. There's no Tides of Life yet. There's no invulnerability. He's just gone.
If you're ever wondering why Florentino is constantly banned out of these tournaments, there is your answer. So much damage from the beginning of the game, and this is only the beginning.
Knight chunking down the Abyssal will get it. Now goes forth onto Chicketon, who's desperately trying to escape. The Metamorphosis, the Reiki shot. It's another kill to Sleepy Team.
That is what you do with the Caress. The long-range Metamorphosis at the very edge of it gets him, and Chicketon, he stepped out too far.
We made this whole draft about Z's Yorn. We should have been talking about Knight on Florentino.
So much damage coming out. He is making it work. If you have that front line that you have to pay so much attention to, TJ, that opens up so much space for that back line.
I actually got the opportunity to talk to Knight prior to this series. He told me he was very excited for this game and that he was 100% sure they would 2-0.
Well, the funny thing is you never expect the Florentino to get through the draft, so he's probably even more excited that that came out.
Yeah, he actually told me he was playing a lot of melee jungle characters. Florentino was not on that list.
He's like, oh, well, I'll take it. I'll take it.
He's always been a melee jungle specialist, and he's always played weird melees in the jungle, going back to the Batman pick he insisted was meta, even when everyone else disagreed, and he, to be fair, made meta more times than one.
Right, it's hard to tell Florentino jungle is meta because he's so rarely let into drafts, but certainly it's working out thus far, and he has the damage to make it work, certainly.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared for what Soul Reaver Florentino will look like in the late game.
Oh, lots of damage, I can tell you that.
Really?
Yeah, it just does.
Ooh, Sad Boy in trouble up top, though. Roids can't quite finish the kill, but a little bit of signs of life for Existence. Are they out of this game?
Not quite yet, and that top matchup that you just looked at is a very important sign because, again, like we saw in the last matchup, if Roids can continue to push that in, then that warps the map in that side.
Existence will push underneath the tower, but 0-9 chimes up. Bamboo in trouble, will spend Tides of Life. Vico does chase, and now he's in trouble because of it. The Wild Prison also stalls up the fight. Metamorphosis Crest has to sit and think about what he's done wrong as the shock now comes through. Clemairs has the call, a big cleave through. Bamboo's in trouble, but does get to safety, and Clemairs is stuck. The Death's Embrace, he's locked in with the Florentino, but he's able to survive. And now Blue Triton's able to come up and do enough damage. All of Sleepy Team need to back up.
How is Zero Test out of all of that coming alive? But oh my goodness, Z at the same time.
Because of Z. The reason nobody died is because Z wasn't in lane. The reason Z wasn't in lane taking that fight is because he was taking a tower.
That's what you do. You don't worry about the fight, TJ. You worry about the towers. Those are the objectives of the game. You take down the tower, take down the core, you win the video game.
And bot lane is so important this early on because of the Abyssal.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can take the Abyssal, because once the Enraged Abyssal Dragon comes up, you can take that extra gold. And you know who loves gold is Z.
Because you can get extra farmed in that bot lane, Z, with the Abyssals especially, will just destroy anyone who tries to lane against them.
And speaking of that gold, this Abyssal Dragon going to be so important and no contest, it looks like. Even more gold into the coffers of Z and Knight and Sleepy Team.
And now they want Chicketon as well. A full dive onto him. He'll back off.
So I want to talk about the tools that these teams have, because Chicketon did a great job with his Wild Prison last fight.
Yeah, and Chicketon has been able to do that repeatedly. If he continues that, if we see the Wild Prison come out, shut down the Metamorphosis, that's key.
Exactly, because we saw Fico try to move forward, but suddenly realized he was fighting 1v3 because his entire team was underground. If Chicketon can continue to land those, it will be great for his team. On the other side, Knight, if he can flip the fight like that every single time, then I don't know what Existence can do in the end.
And it's such a good combo. I didn't see it, but Florentino Omen works so well together.
Yeah, absolutely, because you get in there, you lock them down with a Death Embrace, and they are going to die as a rain of flowers blooms around you.
The number one problem Florentino has is taking a sustained fight. If people leave, he's not effective. But the power of the Death's Embrace is it ensures they have to take a fight.
What's a man to do when all you want to do is Gentleman's Duel, TJ? They just keep running from you.
Stop.
Stop stabbing me, okay? It's
Yeah.
not okay.
No, that's you got a problem then. It's on you.
Cool it with the sword, okay? And the hair. And
A
just
little bit of
being
an
beautiful.
edgelord, yeah. Top lane, it will be Yorn still holding lane, but elsewhere, Existence are in trouble, turning the tables. 0-9 spends the Metamorphosis, now Chicketon comes through Wild Prison. Will that just
Doesn't
hits the
matter.
snooze button, but Fico still gets the kill.
Beautiful job baiting all of that out. TJ, they bait out the Tidal Light and the Wild Prison and still had the edge in that fight.
Wonderfully done by Fico. Now he'll take a tower as well. Z doing the vast majority and getting credit. Roids will clear a wave up top, but he's so underfarmed compared to Knight.
Knight says, okay, I'll just go ahead and take this this monster here.
Look at how low all the Existence members that try and stay and fight are. They're just
Yeah.
getting obliterated by Poke from Sleepy right now.
There's too much damage. It comes from Knight, it comes from Z, it comes from Fico. Whatever they do, they can't take any fights. And if anything goes bad, there is 0-9 to clean up the mess. I think that's what they went with the Crush for. They said that it's not an engage, it's a re-engage. Whenever they're in trouble, they can pop that panic button. I think that's what they've gone for here, and it's working wonderfully.
Yeah, and because it's not being used as an initiation tool, but instead as a disengage tool or a re-engage tool, as you were saying, it's not having the adverse effects. It's also becoming quickly apparent that Z doesn't need to be the carrier for this team. They've got other damage.
Yeah, there's just so much damage coming from all areas, basically, that Existence don't even know who to focus or even who to worry about.
Well, they've got 0-9 now, but he's the tank, so he'll just leave.
They want no part of that. If there's anyone hiding in the bushes, he turns around, pops Metamorphosis, they all die. Existence says, no thanks.
And 0-9's quite good at that. We saw him doing it to Nova Esports the other day.
If you can do it to Nova, you can certainly do it to Existence, unfortunately. Ooh.
Z announces his presence, will go down. Roids with a nice pick, tries to flicker to safety. There's a nice Wild Prison, cutting off the Metamorphosis crest. Beautifully done. Will Existence get away with it? Yes, yes they will. Fico's on the chase, as is 0-9, but they can't keep up.
Again, we see the strengths of both sides because 0-9 is able to pop that Metamorphosis, but Existence say no. They have the Wild Prison, they have the Tide of Life to shut them down. That is what they need to do to get back into this game, TJ.
Chicketon now needs to hold 1v3 up top. He's baited out Knights. Oh, he'll now play safe.
I want to point out that, again, both these teams have favored the Ring of the Fiend. That is massive for both sides. That allows everyone to go 50% faster.
Fico, delete it. Roid's coming through. Z with the
Knight.
arrow from across the map. Can't quite. Oh, he's caught out by Knight. Beautifully done as the wild charge misses. Elsewhere, the tower does fall in split lane, but Existence cannot trade tower for tower. They're already behind.
Or will they? They actually look like they're going in there because they know they have this pushed in. Oh no, though.
I don't think this is a favorable trade. They do get it. Now there are players rotating up top, 2 players to defend, but it's an even trade, and I would have much preferred they held on to what they already had.
I gotta say, an even trade, I would say, helps the losing team because they're able to get those structures and perhaps go for a backdoor potentially.
They needed to kill that dragon so quickly because we're nearing the 10-minute mark. It's going to turn into an enraged abyssal. They literally didn't have time to. Otherwise, if they take it at any other point in the map, they get the gold buff from it.
Right, that's so unfortunate. And I think they actually wanted, they preferred if that was the Enraged Abyssal Dragon, and Sleepy Team know that now. They're gonna go ahead and contest.
They'll be nearby, but Existence are able to bully them back. That's a good sign.
This is the battle of the objectives now. We're talking about the Darkslayer up top, the Abyssal Dragon down bottom. Both offer amazing buffs to your team, and both are gonna be heavily contested, and you don't wanna give it up to the other team either.
Last season on Dead Rabbits, Clemaire's actually put up one of the best performances of the season on Malik. We'll see if he can repeat, because he'll need to. Knight gets another kill on Roids. Clemaire's has to shock to safety as the rest of Sleepy Team batter him down.
Look at Knight's health. He just withstood a 100's mark and just said, is that it? Is that all you got?
There's more where that came from. Darkslayer's feeling the wrath now as Knight cleans it up alongside Z.
Easy take for them, and I imagine they're gonna rotate over to make sure that Existence can't try any cheekiness over here. That hard shot just to make sure if they were taking it, then it's gonna take it by them.
Chicken's in trouble. He'll drop the Wild Prison. No, it doesn't go off in time. Now Bamboo needs to flee. Clemares, though, does dive forward, actually scaring Fico back. He's got 3 players focusing him, but he just stays alive for so long. It's not enough. Blue Triton's actually overextended as a result. He'll be picked off, and Sleepy Team are approaching the base.
Sleepy Team are happy to take out Malik if he's gonna stand there.
Roids goes in, Hunter's Mark deployed. He can't brawl in the middle of all this, though, and the tower will fall. That's the high ground down, and only Bamboo to defend for the next 6 seconds. Till Chickening comes back. He's burned out. The core itself under threat. Water Wall does stun up. It doesn't clear wave. Bamboo's gone. So is the game. Sleepy Team up 1-0.
Sleepy Team says, I don't care about your draft composition. We will make this work. Crushed. Beautiful that game, but it was 90 with the massive damage throughout.